everybody, it's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this little daisy that is also a sunflower, just depending on what colors that you make. And of course, as you can see here, you can make them in whatever colors that you want. Now the little flower itself measures about 4 inches across. And I'm going to show you how to make the applique. It's perfect for hats and bags and scarves and whatever you want to put it on. I'm also going to show you how you can connect them together to make a fun scarf, belt, or just a trim for a handbag. It's really easy and it's very, very versatile. Now you can find this crochet pattern on my blog, and as always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. To make this applique, you can use any medium weight number 4 yarns that you have on hand, and it just takes a small amount. I'm going to be doing the demonstration in our sunflower colors. I'm going to do the center in this beige, where the center is, and I'm going to do the petals in this sort of gold. These are Vanna's Choice and Red Heart Super Saver medium weight number 4 acrylic yarns. You can also do this in cotton or whatever fiber that you happen to have on hand. It's a great stash buster project. The yarn just needs to be a medium weight number 4. We're going to be stitching with our H hook today, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You need a needle to weave in those ends and a pair of scissors. I'm beginning with my center of my flower color. I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 5 chains. I'm going to join this chain 5 into a circle, so I'll put the tail over my hook and pull it through. We'll snug that down and tie that little stay knot. Alright, so now I'm going to put my hook in the chain 5, pull up a loop, and chain 3. This chain 3 counts as my first double crochet. And I need to stitch 11 more, so I'll have a total of 12 double crochets. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. You'll also notice that I'm stitching over my tail of yarn. And I'm going to do that because I'm probably going to have a hole in the center of my circle. And so I have to weave it in anyway, so I might as well use it to gather the hole closed. Alright, so I'm going to stitch a total of 12 double crochets. And remember that chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. Alright, let's see how many I've stitched. Here's my chain 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need 2 more. There's 11 and 12. So I have 12 double crochets. I'm going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch. I'm not going to chain 3 or anything because I'm going to be changing colors for the petals. Alright, so I'm just going to make a nice big loop and pull my hook out. That way I don't lose that hoop or loop. I'm going to pull on that string so my hole closed. I'm going to go ahead and grab my needle. Like I said, we're going to have to weave this in anyway, so we might as well go ahead and take care of that now. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go around. Make sure that hole's nice and snug and closed. Then I'll turn and go back the other way. And the key to getting it to hold is to go through those stitches and some of the fibers of the yarn. Alright, we'll give one more little turn and clip that. Alright, so now for our row 1, we have 12 double crochets, and we joined to the chain 3 that counted as our first double crochet. Now I'm going to make the petals, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn and bring in the color that I'm using for my petals, which is this gold, because I want this to look like a sunflower. So I'm going to join my color in, my tail out of the way there. We're going to go right in that first double crochet and chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to stitch a double crochet in that same stitch. So yarn over, go in the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. Now I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2. I'm going to slip stitch in the top of that double crochet, and I like to go through both loops. I think it looks nicer. So we're going to pull the stitch or the loop through, and then pull that loop through the loop on our hook. Now we're going to double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2. We're going to slip stitch in the same stitch, and that's our first petal. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 2, double crochet in that same stitch, chain 2, slip stitch in the top of that double crochet, then double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, and slip stitch in that same stitch. Now we have 2 petals, and we're going to repeat what we did here 4 more times, so we have 6 petals. Slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, slip stitch in the top of the double crochet, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, slip stitch in the same stitch, and now we have 3 petals. Now, before we go any farther, I want to show you how you can hook your flowers together. So I've got these that I've already got a couple of them together. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull out this stitch that we just did. Okay, so here's our second petal, and you're going to join them on that third petal. All right, so you'll go in, pull up a loop just like before, and chain 2, double crochet just like we did on the previous petals, and chain 2. Now we're going to still slip stitch, but what we want to do is we want to take the end of the petal on the third, because we want to do it across. We're going to go right in the top of that petal with our hook and pull our loop through. You're basically slip stitching them together. Okay, and we'll move that over like that, and then we'll do our slip stitch in the top of our double crochet, and then we'll just finish the petal. 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, slip stitch in the same stitch, then slip stitch in the next stitch, and chain 2. And now we have, of course that one flipped over, 3 put together, and you'll continue to do that if you want your flowers hooked together. All right, let's go ahead and finish our sunflower. So I'm back to having 3 petals on my sunflower. I'm not hooked to the other one, but even if I were, we would continue, chain 2, double crochet in the next, chain 2, slip stitch at the top of that double crochet, then double crochet in the next, chain 2, slip stitch in the same, stitch, then slip stitch in the next. And so whether you hook them together like these or not, you're still going to need to go around and make sure you have 6 petals on your flower. Once you have your 6 petals made, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, here's where my last slip stitch was. You're going to join over to that first slip stitch with a slip stitch. We'll turn it over and clip our yarn. And again, we have a few ends to weave in. If you're making a bunch of these, I like to go ahead and get my ends weaved in. But if you're one who likes to wait and do it at the end, that's fine too. Just make sure when you're weaving in your ends that you don't get some of the gold coming up in the brown or some of the brown coming up in the gold. Back and forth and weave it in. And so whether you want to make a long chain of them together, which like I said makes a nice headband, belt, purse bag, or even to go around the top of a bag, or you just want to make them individually, like a sunflower, daisy, or whatever colors you want to use, this is a super fun and super easy pattern. And again, it's a great way to use up all your leftover yarn scraps. And remember also, you don't have to make them in solids. You can use variegated stripes, and you can make it all in one color or several colors. Make all your petals different colors. There's just lots of fun that you can have with this super simple sunflower and daisy applique. So go have fun!